fucking what you Robertson. Welcome to Make Something with me, David Picciuto, and today we're gonna make this super custom printer stand. Check. We are in my office. This is the desk and file cabinet that I made last year, and over here in the corner is my printer station. It's time to pretty it up. It's currently sitting on these crates that we made a couple years ago. A couple of obstacles I want to work around is I don't want the printer to sit on top. I want it to fit inside the cabinet, and then there's also a heating and air conditioning vent back here that needs to blow out. So I got to work around those two things. So earlier I went to Kencraft Hardwoods here in Toledo, Ohio, and picked up some beautiful walnut for the drawer face, some drawer slides, and some 1/2 inch plywood. The carcass is going to be made out of 3/4 inch walnut plywood, which I have enough pieces left over from previous projects, so I didn't have to buy that. So the cool thing about this project is the main carcass, all the pieces can be cut right away. Most of the time is going to be spent assembling and making the drawers. So Dan, let's do our thing. So now that all the pieces of the carcass are cut, I'm going to assemble everything with pocket hole screws. I've got my pocket hole jig set up here with the dust collector. What's the most important thing in woodworking? Planning. It's planning, Dan. It's planning. I did not properly plan everything, and so I have 3 pocket holes drilled on this guy that don't need to be there. It'll be on the inside. No big deal. While I was testing pocket holes off camera, I tested into one of my actual pieces. So this is the bottom, and it's got a couple extra holes in there for no reason because I was testing. Planning is very important. But anyway, this will be the bottom, this will be the leg, and then there will be another leg here. And so we're just gonna clamp it together, glue it, not necessarily in that order, and then screw it. Glue it, screw it, clamp it, screw it, glue it. Sounds like a Daft Punk song.
Lock it, fill it, curl it, find it, view it, code it, jump and
we are assembling everything. I'm just putting a little bit of glue on there, not much, just a little bit. And then sticking that on there like so. And it helps to clamp it down. There's this crazy specialty clamp that's just for this. It does make life a little bit easier. So this is upside down. I've got the 2 outside assemblies assembled, and then now it's time to put in the middle shelf here. I cut these guys over on the table saw to help me get this perfectly aligned. So I'm gonna add a little bit of glue and then clamp this together, and then once again, glue it, clamp it, screw it, clamp it, glue it, screw it.
lock it, surf it, scroll it, pose it, click it, cross it, crack it.
I don't wanna get glue where I don't wanna get glue. I'm a master with words. Always get the screw started first. Son of a bitch. Fucking what you Robertson fuck. Normally, I would edge band all of it before doing this because it makes edge banding so much easier. And I think instead of using the iron-on edge banding like I've done in the past, I'm going to use solid wood. And that would still have been easier to do before assembling all this. But I haven't decided on the actual look, how much overhang is going to be. I thought maybe I'll just kind of work on that on the fly. So I'm gonna do the drawers next, but after the drawers, when we do the edge banding, I might make it thicker and then route a profile on there. Haven't decided. I wanna start designing more on the fly and screwing up more on the fly. Yeah. Dan, drawers.
Okay.
I'm making all the drawers out of 1/2-inch plywood. All 4 drawers are going to have the exact same measurements to make this quick and easy. They're just going to have different size faces, which we're going to make out of solid walnut. So I got my fence set to 6 inches. I'm just going to rip a bunch of pieces and then we'll cross cut them to fit. And then we're just going to pocket hole the sides of the drawers together with special 1/2-inch with smaller pocket holes. It takes a special thing, and then we're just gonna glue on the bottom. Real simple, real quick. This is the quickest way that I know how to make drawers. I hate making drawers. I don't even like talking about drawers. I might cut this part of the video out because I don't like drawers. All right, and once again, pocket holes. And we'll clamp this together, change out our bit. So for the bottom, I'm just going to glue it in place and then use some pin nails to clamp it down. This does not add strength. If you're wondering if just gluing the bottom is strong enough, all the drawers here, they're just glued on. And that holds all those super heavy tools. So that glue is going to be perfectly fine. Calm down. So now it's time to install the drawers, and we're going to screw in the drawer slides here. And I've gone ahead and cut up some spacers that I can just kind of throw in there and then put the drawer slides on top of that. Take out that piece there. That's going to go on there like that. That's going to go on there like that. And I need it to be set back a little bit so there's room for the drawer face. So now I can remove my spacers, put these guys back in there. And then I don't want my drawer to sit on the bottom, so I'm putting in this little 1/8 inch piece of plywood as a spacer. Then I can set this on top of that. And I can just pull this out and put in that first screw, and Bob's your mom. And so now that we got that screw, we can open this up until the next one's exposed. So now to do the top drawers, got some stuff in there just to make sure everything is going to fit just fine. So we take this out, and I've cut a spacer that I can throw in here to make sure that the top one is where it needs to go. They're even on both sides and it's parallel with the bottom. And then again, I will need to make sure it is set back the perfect spacing. And so for the top drawers, once again, I took some scrap, cut some spacers for the drawer to sit on, and we're gonna throw this in there. And we can push these back so they're flush with the face. So all the drawers are done. We're gonna make the faces out of solid walnut. I didn't have any walnuts wide enough or tall enough for this, so I had to glue 2 boards together. That should be dry, and we're going to cut it to fit into this space, so whatever this measurement is, minus a 1/8 inch gap all the way around. I have all the pieces cut. They fit pretty good. Nice even gap all the way around. Next thing I want to do is take this over to the router and route a 45-degree chamfer along the edge. And that kind of helps emphasize the borders and also creates a shadow line, which if there is any consistency in the gap, it's kind of hidden through the shadows. I'm going to cut out a little place to put your hand and use that as a handle instead of using any kind of hardware. Got a nice little handle cut in there, and then I round it over there so it feels good on the hands. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to temporarily hot glue it to the drawer. Then I can push it out from the back, clamp it, and then screw it into the drawer. So we're going to pre-drill that. I'm going to use this bit right here. And then swap back to the driver and screw that in. And so in theory, that should be perfect. Now we need to cover up all the edges, and like I said before, this would have been easier beforehand, but I kind of wanted to feel this out. So I think what I'm going to do is as thin as possible on all of these edges, including the sides, and then maybe 1.5 inch overhang on the top where we repeat this chamfer on the bottom of that overhang. I'm gonna cut that to length, and then this one I can't use brad nails, so I'm gonna have to just tape it on there. And while that dries, I'm gonna head out into the metal shop and make some little feet. So before we make the feet and add a coat of finish to this printer stand, I'd like to tell you about today's sponsor, and that is Make It Snappy Tools. I've been using their quick change chuck throughout this project. I use their tools in almost every single video, even when they're not a sponsor. That's how much I like their tools. They are a family-owned business, and everything is made here in the USA. And when I say family-owned, I mean almost everybody that works there is related, and you don't get to see that too much anymore. This right here is the Maker's Edition Deluxe Toolbook, and it has all the common bits and drivers that I would need in a woodworking project. I can grab this and just one drill and take everything across the shop or into the house or on the go, and it's nice and convenient. I even have one of their smaller pouches that I take go-kart racing with me, because when you're in the pits, time is everything, and this quick change chuck and their bits makes everything fast and efficient. So check out their website. You can buy full kits like this book here, or you can buy empty pouches and buy the bits and drivers as you need them. My personal recommendation is the quick change chuck. It was a game changer for me. We do have a special deal for you. If you use promo code MAKESOMETHING10, you will get a 10% discount and free shipping of orders over $15. You do have to select the free shipping option as you're checking out, but that is a heck of a deal. 10% off and free shipping of orders over $15. And in doing so, you are supporting small business. So thank you, Make It Snappy Tools, for putting together this deal. Now let's finish up this printer stand. So I went ahead and cut some 1.25 inch tubing, which I then welded to a plate that got screwed onto the bottom, and that is the feet. I still have one more thing to do for the feet, is I need to put some sort of little floor protector on the bottom. And I'm thinking about 3D printing something that friction fits in there. I'm not sure if that's going to be a good video or not. Maybe I'll do it off camera. We'll see. And then I finished everything with a few coats of polyurethane because it needs some protection. But this is going to work out great. I got my printer right here in the middle where I want it. And it just so happens that the trash can that we made a while ago fits underneath there. I got my shipping envelopes in here, other shipping supplies and shipping scales here, all my books, fit in here. And by the way, books are back in stock for the first time in a couple of months. So this is basically my little printer and shipping station, super custom to this area, super custom to me, super custom to this printer. What happens if I get another printer? I know a good woodworker. This does allow airflow. There is a heating and air conditioning vent behind there, just behind this trash can right here. Not gonna have any plans for this because this is super custom for me and my needs, and I don't think anybody else is going to want the exact measurements. All of this beautiful walnut came from my friends at Kencraft. Please check them out at kencraftcompany.com. They do sell online. They are also a family-owned business. Thank you to the other family-owned business, Make It Snappy Tools, for sponsoring today's video. That's gonna wrap it up. We'll see you guys next week with a brand new project. As always, be safe, have fun, stay passionate, and make something.